According to John Malalas, the Sassanid army, led by Azarethi, set out the support of the Lakhmid prince Al-Mundir III bin al-Numan. It was only upon the army's passing Callinicum that the Roman general Belisarius would be alerted to their advance. He would raise an army of 8,000 men, among them a contingent of 5,000 Ghassanids led by the Phylarch Al-Harith ibn Jabala. The Roman army would catch the Sassanids alongside the Euphrates River on the opposite side of the bank to where the city of Callinicum is located. At this point, the Sassanids were already withdrawing back to their own domain, with their plunder following successful raids into Roman territory. The Romans would deploy opposite of the Persians, with the Euphrates to their backs, and Belisarius had also stationed Roman ships along the coast to support the army. The Roman army was arrayed with the heavy infantry on the left flank, the heavy cavalry in the center, the Isaurian and Phrygian infantry on the right, and the cavalry of the Ghassanids to the right of the Phrygians. Malalas noted that the battle took place on the 19th of April, which is the Holy Saturday of Easter, meaning that the Roman troops had been fasting for religious reasons at this time. The Persians, on the other hand, deployed with their Lakhmid allies on the left flank opposing the Ghassanids, and Persian troops making up the center and left. Malalas doesn't provide a substantial account of the deployment of the Persian army, nor its exact composition regarding its unit types. The battle began with an exchange of ranged attacks between both armies, followed by a general Persian attack. Malalas notes heavy fighting and casualties, with many officers dying, including the son of the Lakhmid prince. The battle would shift in favor of the Persians following the death of the Phrygian exarch. Upon seeing his death and the capture of his standard, the Phrygian soldiers began to flee, with the Isaurians following soon after, trying to cross the river, with many drowning. Malalas notes that the Ghassanid right flank turned to flee upon seeing the fleeing Isaurians, leaving the Roman center outflanked. Malalas makes a hypothesis as to why the Ghassanids fled, linking it to the possible treachery from their leader, Al-Harith. With the right flank in shambles, the Persians began to roll up the Roman line. Notably, it is at this point which Malalas makes a special note of Belisarius' conduct, stating, "When Belisarius saw what was happening, he took his standard with him and got into a boat. He crossed the Euphrates and came to Callinicum." With this withdrawal from the army by Belisarius, a general rout would start throughout the Roman lines, with many men clamoring to get onto the boats, to evade Persian blades, with a great many drowning in the river trying to swim to safety, all the while being pulled down by the weight of their armor. Malalas makes note of 2 Roman commanders who he attributes to saving the remainder of the Roman army, those men being Sunicas and Simas, who according to him regrouped the remaining infantry on the left flank with their backs to the water and formed a defensive position, all the while the 2 men fought on foot. At this point, the defensive posture of the Romans caused a great many casualties for the Sassanids, and the soldiers slayed many. Once nightfall came, the Sassanids would withdraw to their camp, and the remainder of the Roman army withdrew to Callinicum. In the aftermath of this battle, Justinian would go so far as to make an inquiry in order to find out the truth of what happened.